the resultant, where resultant is nothing but it's a single force which produces the same effect as produced by the number of forces acting together. Then we have discussed about the way of finding the resultant force for the different force system. I think this is just the revision so that you will remember everything there. So here, composition of the forces. First thing is the composition means what? It is nothing but the procedure to find the magnitude and direction of the resultant force. Resultant force find out करने का जो process है, that is called as composition of the forces. So in the composition of the forces, first we are discussing about the concurrent force system. Concurrent force system means a number of forces acting in a system or in a body, let us say. If a number of concurrent forces are acting on a body and they are concurrent, then how to find out the resultant? The first step always, so it is actually first step is given find summation of effects. Instead of that, first step is always resolve the forces. Resolve the forces means what? Resolve the forces, split the given forces into its two component, x component and y component. So पहले सबसे resolve कर दो. Resolve करने के बाद then this will start. Find the summation of f of x. So you have to add all the forces x component. Then is find summation of f of y. It is nothing but the addition of all y component of the forces. So if four forces are there, they will be having the 4x component and 4y component. So सबसे पहले हमको add करना है x component and y component we have to add. So what we are doing, suppose four forces are given, four forces will be having 8 components. So we are increasing the forces. 4 की जगह 8 आ गए. Then we are adding it. We are adding all the x component. So one force will get. Again you are adding the y component. You are getting the one more force. So again the system is divided into two different forces. अभी दो force में आ गए. One is summation of fx. Second one is summation of fy. Then the magnitude of the resultant force is given by the equation r equals to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. होने के बाद r magnitude मिल गया मुझे. After magnitude, the next one is Ashutosh. Unmute your mic. Sorry, mute your mic. So R is the resultant. It's a force that you are getting by the equation R is equal to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. R find out करने के बाद next step is to find out, that is the last step, that is tan theta. Theta is the angle made by the resultant with the horizontal, and it is found out by tan theta is equal to summation of f of y divided by summation of f of x. And later on the fourth stage will come. Summation of fx and summation of fy you have to plot and you have to show the resultant. 1 mark is kept for that one there. After this one, now already we have discussed regarding this. We have discussed that R, you are getting additional information about the resultant. So if I have to represent the resultant, this red color one is the resultant force and its component will be summation of fx and summation of fy. Means if I resolve the force, resolve the resultant into its two components, its components will be summation of fx is the x component, summation of fy is the y component. And from that, by the Pythagoras theorem, we can say now. So what is the Pythagoras theorem? Hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. So by this Pythagoras theorem, we are getting the equation R is equal to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square, and tan theta is equal to q sine. So here tan theta is q sine alpha, that is by this parallelogram law of forces. Instead of that, tan theta is equal to summation of f of y by summation of f of x. Then similarly, if I resolve the force into its two components, suppose R you are having, R is 10 Newton and theta is something 30 degrees. So its component will be R cos theta and R sin theta, and that R cos theta must be equal to summation of fx and R sin theta must be equal to summation of f of y. So in some numericals, you are going to use this logic. That also we'll see what logic you are going to use. Where the resultant will be given to you, one of the numerical, today's numerical we'll see, where the resultant is given and one of the force is unknown, that you have to determine the unknown force. So there you are going to use this logic. So there we can say the x component of resultant, that is r cos theta, is nothing but summation of f of x, and y component of the resultant, r sin theta, is nothing but summation of f of y. That you are going to see in that numericals. I think these numericals in the last lecture we have discussed, so we will not waste time in this one. We will go for the new numericals. Two numericals we have discussed in the last lecture. So go for the third numerical. So the third numerical says, See, this is the common, such type of numerical definitely will be there for 8 marks in your exam. That is the question number 2A. Definitely such numericals will be there. In such numericals, can anyone tell me what type of force system? Unmute करके बोल सकता है कोई?
Concurrent, sir.
Yeah, concurrent force system. So it is a concurrent force system. How many forces are there? Red color I have represented by
Four.
the
3,
4.
16.
4,
4 forces are there.
Four forces.
And out of that, you can see clearly the 16 Newton force is a horizontal force, right? And 15 Newton force is a vertical force. So first step is to resolve. तो सबसे पहले हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to resolve the. So the question will be like this: determine the magnitude and direction of the resultant of the. Disha, this is last warning now. This is third time it's happening. You are talking with someone else. So total 4 forces are there. Out of that, 16 Newton force is the horizontal force that is along x-axis, and 15 Newton force is along y-axis. So very first thing, resolve the forces. Whichever the inclined forces are there, 14 Newton and 18 Newton, I have resolved it into its two components. The way of resolving I have shown here. The 14 Newton force मैंने बोला था कि you have to ask two questions. For x component, एक question पूछो. For y component, ask another question. So the first question is 14 Newton force, is it acting towards the right or it is acting towards left? So definitely it is acting towards right. So its x component will be positive because on the right side, we are assuming that x axis is positive. So 14 cos 30 is the x component. Then I have to ask 14 Newton force, is it acting in upward direction or downward direction? Yes, definitely you can say the 14 Newton force is acting in upward direction. So its y component will be also in upward direction. So this will be that 14 sin 30 will be positive here. Similarly, for 18 Newton force, resolve it into its two components. Ask the question, the force is acting towards right or left? Yeah, definitely it is acting towards left. 18 Newton force is acting towards left. So that's why its x component will also act towards left hand side. And x component will be 18 cos 60. So 18 Newton force is definitely acting in the upward direction. So its y component will be 18 sin 60. And as it is acting in the upward direction, it will be positive here. The next one is now what to do about 16 Newton and yes, Omkar, you can unmute your sound. What's your doubt?
Sir, concurrent forces.
So please, regarding this one, if you are asking na, after the numerical, you ask please. Now you can ask ना. Numerical होने के बाद पूछा करो. हाँ बोलो.
Okay, sir.
बोलो. Ask your doubt.
Sir, concurrent forces.
Yeah, it is concurrent forces ना. वो हो गया, हम स्टार्टिंग भी देख लिए. क्या डाउट क्या आपका?
सर वही समझा नहीं concurrent forces क्या.
नहीं समझा?
सर concurrent forces ही नहीं मालूम.
I don't understand your doubt. What is your doubt? Tell me clearly.
सर ये जो डायग्राम है concurrent forces क्यों है?
क्यों है? Have you attended the previous lectures?
No, sir.
So then don't ask me the question. After this, you talk to me on WhatsApp. Okay. So after this one, now here I have made a tabular form here. So where I have listed all the forces. So as a beginners, you can use this method. एक बार practice हो गया तो separately directly you can write down summation of fx and summation of f of y equation over there. Okay. So here they, clearly the first force I am starting from the 16 Newton force. Second is 14 Newton, 18 Newton, and 15. Go in sequence, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. I am going anti-clockwise. So the first force is 16 Newton force. Next one is 14 Newton force. Third one is 18 Newton force, and fourth one is 15 Newton force. Now concentrate more on the x component. Now 16 Newton force is acting towards the right, and it is acting along x-axis. So definitely the force itself will be the x component. So 16 Newton force is a horizontal force, तो उसका x component force ही रहेगा, and its y component will be 0. Do the same thing for the 15 Newton. सबसे last वाला देखो 15 Newton force. 15 Newton force is a vertical force. So its vertical component or y component will be force itself, 15 Newton. but its x component will be 0. So I can conclude for any horizontal force or any force acting along x axis, its x component will be the force itself and the y component will be 0. Whereas any force which is acting along y axis, its y component will be the force itself and x component will be 0. So concentrate more on this first and last force. So the 16 Newton force, x component is 16, y component is 0, whereas 15 Newton force, x component is 0 and y component is is 15 Newton, the force itself. But here minus, because 16 Newton force acting towards right, so this is positive. The 15 Newton force, vertical force acting in the downward direction, the downward direction is to be considered negative. That's why this is minus here. Then move to the 14 Newton force, x component acting towards right, positive, y component acting in the upward direction, again it is positive. So 40 cos 30 is the x component after calculating 12.1124. Y component 14 sin 30, this is 7 Newton over here. Similarly, for the 18 Newton force, now 18 Newton force, just now I told you, the x component is acting towards left. So left x-axis is negative. That's why the x component of 18 Newton force will be minus 18 cos 60. That is minus 9 Newton. Our y component is acting in the upward direction. 18 sin 60 is acting in the upward direction. So definitely upward direction y component will be positive. That's why 18 sin 60. And this is nothing but 15.588. So first resolve this and add up all the force. Next step क्या होता है अपना, पहले resolve कर दो. Resolve करके हमने सारे x component सारे forces के निकाल दिए. Then the next step says add all the x component. तो ये second जो row है, second column जो है उसका addition करना है. Simply add it here. Algebraic sum of all these x component of the forces. ये चारों को add करने के बाद I am getting 19.124 Newton. Similarly, add up. The next step is add up all the y component. So 0 plus 7 plus 15.588 minus 15, I am getting at 7.588. So first resolve, then find out algebraic sum of all x component, algebraic sum of all y component. Now I will give you the time. इसमें कोई doubt है तो you can ask now. Before going to the next step, anyone has any doubt? Because this is the basic step. कोई भी क्वेश्चन हमारा स्टैटिक्स में होगा उसमें पहले सबसे रिजॉल्व करना पड़ेगा और रिजल्टेंट फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा. तो उसके लिए हमको समेशन ऑफ एफ एक्स एंड समेशन ऑफ f of y we have to find out. If anyone has any doubt, unmute and ask the question. No one? Okay, so I will proceed further. Then after getting summation of fx and summation of f of y, so here the answer we got as algebraic sum of all x component as 19.124 Newton, summation of f of y is equal to 7.588 Newton. Now simply just get the formula, substitute the values, get the answer. Resultant formula is r is equal to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. After substituting the value, I am getting the resultant as 20.574 Newton. The next for the angle of the resultant, because the resultant is a force is a vector quantity. To define the vector quantity completely, I need its magnitude and direction as well as point of application. But here we are not considering point of application. Magnitude we got after calculating theta I got. So this gives us the magnitude and direction. And in the last lecture, previous lecture, I have explained here in the concurrent force system, no need to find out the point of application because all the forces are passing through the same point. Resultant will also pass through the same point. So here I can conclude here the resultant of the force system is 20.574 and its inclination with x-axis is 21.64 degrees and it will pass through the same point through which all the forces acting. So तीन characteristics होते हैं, तीन characteristics of the force. One is the magnitude, direction and point of application. For the concurrent force system, only you are finding out the resultant and angle theta. Point of application निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है, सारे forces एक ही point से जा रहे हैं, उसी point से हमारा resultant जाएगा. Then lastly, the last step is one separate mark is kept for this one. So our question is not boring. You have to represent it graphically. So at the end, I have to show it here. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the resultant. Its inclination is 21.64. This way you have to represent the resultant here. Now here you can say out the resultant of quadrant. Why I am showing R in first quadrant only? Why I am not showing it in second quadrant? Why I am not showing it in third quadrant? Yeah. So here the clarification is the quadrant of the resultant, the final figure, quadrant of the resultant is decided by sign conventions of summation of fx and summation of fy. Summation of fx का sign क्या है हमारा? Positive. समेशन ऑफ एफ वाई का साइन क्या है? पॉजिटिव. एक्स एंड वाई दोनों पॉजिटिव कहाँ पे होते हैं? फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में होते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम शोइंग दिस रिजल्टेंट इन फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट. आई थिंक इट इज क्लियर. Suppose my question is summation of fx is negative and summation of fy is positive. तो रिजल्टेंट कौन से क्वाड्रेंट में दिखाएंगे हम? Anyone?
Second.
Second quadrant.
Second quadrant. Y is positive, x is negative. So this resultant you are going to show in second quadrant. अगर दोनों नेगेटिव है तो रिजल्टेंट यू आर गोइंग टू शो इन थर्ड क्वाड्रेंट.
Third.
Yeah. So take care of this one. While showing this one, finally, if this question was asked for 4 marks, then half mark is kept for this one. Okay. If this question, a big question means number of forces are more. At that time, if it is asked, one separate 1 mark is kept for the last step here. Don't forget to represent the given forces here. I think this is clear to everyone how to find out the resultant of a concurrent force system. One thing you have to keep it in mind. In the concurrent force system, you are finding out the resultant and the angle. Point of application, no need to find, nothing to think about the point of application because all the forces are passing through a single point. So resultant will also pass through the same point. And one some C42 student has asked, what is concurrent force system? If all the forces in the system is passing through the same point, such system is called concurrent force system. Let us move to the another numerical here. See, as I told you, our 80 to 90% part will be the numericals in the question paper. So we are more concentrating on numericals. So I will try to complete as many as numericals over here so that your concepts will be clear over here. So here, something is practical application is given. Some blue color one is a boat given to you. So let us see what he is saying. To move a boat uniformly along the river at a given speed, a resultant force R is equal to 520 Newton is required. So see the diagram clearly. What you have to do, you have to move the boat with a uniform speed in horizontal direction. So uske liye, how much force is required? 520 Newton force is required, right? So 520 is the resultant given. In this question, what is given? The resultant is given 520. Okay. Whatever may be the number of forces, कितने फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहे हो? बोर्ड को 4 लोग खींच रहे, 2 लोग खींच रहे, 5 लोग खींच रहे, 5 different forces or 2 forces or 3 forces, but its resultant has to be 520 Newton. तो बोर्ड को यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड में हॉरिजॉन्टली मूव करने के लिए how much force is required? 520. So 520 Newton is the resultant given over there. Then he is asking, what are the determine the force? We will think about the first part. Determine the force P and Q in the row such that theta 1 is equal to 30 degrees and theta 2 is equal to 40 degrees. So we are applying the two forces. One is force P, another is force Q. The P is 30 degrees, Q is making an angle of 40 degrees over here. Okay, so we are applying the two force and we have to move the boat with a uniform certain uniform speed. और उसके लिए क्या चाहिए मुझे? The resultant of these two forces has to be 520 Newton. ये क्लियर हो गया सबको क्वेश्चन? What is the question we are given here? R is given the resultant. बोट को यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड से मूव करने के लिए हाउ मच फोर्स इज रिक्वायर्ड? 520 न्यूटन फोर्स इज रिक्वायर्ड. Either you apply single force or 2 force or 3 forces. The first possibility is asking, you are pulling the boat with the two forces P and Q. P and Q का inclination दिया है 30 degrees and 40 degrees. First you have to determine, to get the resultant of 520 Newton, how much will be the magnitude of the force P and force Q. Okay, so here we are going to use the logic that in the beginning of the lecture only we have discussed about the composition of the force system. Resultant का कंक्लूजन हमने क्या निकाला था? एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन में रिजल्टेंट हैज गॉट टू कंपोनेंट, summation of fx and summation of fy, as well as r has got resultant has got the component r cos theta and r sin theta. R cos theta is equal to summation of f of x. R sin theta is nothing but summation of f of y. That concept we are going to use in this lecture. And one more thing, just now in the previous example we told you, I told you, if the force is horizontal, what is the x component and y component? Can anyone tell? Just 2 minutes पहले हुआ है. If a horizontal force is given, what is its x component and what is y component? Anyone answer?
Component is 0.
Y component is 0 and x component is the force itself. If any vertical force is given, what is the x component and y component?
X is the component 0. Y component is
And y component
X component will be 0 for a vertical force, x component is 0 and y component will be the force itself, and sign depends upon how it is passing, it is upward or downward. Upward है तो positive, downward है तो negative. अब मुझे बताओ यहाँ पे what is the component of resultant, what is the x component of the resultant and y component of the resultant. Resultant दिख रहा है सबको? R.
Sir, x component 520 Newton and y
520,
component
y
0.
component 0.
Yes. So x component of the resultant is 520 Newton and y component is 0. Or can I say summation of fx is equal to 520? Any answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because r के component क्या होते हैं? R cos theta is nothing but summation of f of x. So here summation of f of x will be 520, whereas summation of fy क्या होगा इसमें?
0.
Zero. Summation of fy means y component of the resultant, which is 0. बस खत्म. इतना समझ में आ गया तो question खत्म हो गया. It's very simple question. Okay. So let us see what we are doing here. So in the solution, theta 1 is given as 30 degrees, theta 2 is given as 40 degrees. Rx का मतलब क्या है? X component of the resultant is 520 Newton because its y component is equal to 0. The first step I think you understood. X component of the resultant is nothing but your resultant R. Force itself is equal to 520 Newton and y component will be is equal to 0. ये अगर दिमाग में आ गया है तो बस क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर सकते हैं हम लोग. Then I know the equation. Ry is equal to 0. Ry is nothing but summation of f of y. Summation of f of y is equal to 0. Then already I have resolved the forces P and Q. So y component I have to add here. So y component summation of fy equation will be P sine theta 1 minus Q sine theta 2. See, this Q sine theta 2 is acting in the downward direction, so it has to be negative. So P sine theta 1 minus Q sine theta 2 is equal to 0. Then theta 1 and theta 2 is given. P sine 30 is equal to Q sine 40. So first I am getting the relation between P and Q. And that I am getting as P is equal to 1.285 times Q. Then the other conclusion I know, if a resultant is horizontal, its x component is nothing but summation of fx. So I will say summation of fx is equal to x component of the resultant is equal to r here. That is nothing but 520. So add all the x component. First x component is p cos theta 1 acting towards right, positive, plus q cos theta 2 because it is also acting towards right. So p cos theta 1 plus p cos theta 2 is equal to 520. That is nothing but the resultant component, x component. And after substituting, I know the first relation between the p and q. P is equal to 1.285 times q. So if I substitute the value of p as 1.285 q here, so only one unknown will remain and that is q. And that q after finding out, I will get 276.69 Newton over here. Whereas the force P will be 355.7. Q milne ke baad, substitute that Q value here in this equation, you will get the value of P. So this way we can find out the unknown forces here. So always it's not necessary that a concurrent force system is given, 4-5 forces diye hai, and you have to find out the resultant. Sometimes the resultant will be also given to you. You have to find out the unknown forces. So यहाँ पे देखो हमने 2 unknown forces थे, 2 unknown forces हमने find out कर दी. So this is the logic, but there the logic you are going to use, if the resultant is R, its x component will be R cos theta, which is nothing but summation of f of x. Resultant R, its y component will be R sin theta is equal to summation of f of y. If the resultant is horizontal, its x component will be the resultant itself and y component will be 0. If the resultant is vertical, its y component will be is equal to the resultant itself and x component will be 0. Okay. The next second part he is asking, if theta is 30 degrees, theta 1 is 30 degrees. So theta 1 यहाँ पे as it is रखा हुआ है. We are not changing the theta 1 30 degrees. You have to find out the value of theta 2. ये first part is over. First part of the question is over. Next he is asking, same है, resultant 520. ये 30 degree same रखा है हमने. And Q का theta 2. This theta 2 you have to find out theta 2 such that the force in the rope is minimum. So what is the minimum force Q, right? If theta 1 is to be kept as 30 degrees, theta 2 कितना रखना पड़ेगा so that Q force कम से कम लगेगा. Minimum force Q लगा रहा हूं मैं. So what should be the value of minimum force Q? So first I have to find out theta 2 here. So theta 1 is kept as it is 30 degrees. Theta 2 you have to find out. Resultant वही रहेगा. Its x component is equal to 520. So as I know, summation of f of y is equal to 0. p sin theta 1 plus minus q sin theta 2. Again, I am writing the equation. पहले हमने क्या किया था? Theta 1, theta 2 दोनों known थे. Here only theta 1 is given 30 degrees. Theta 2 is not given here. Theta 2 unknown है. So I am getting an equation here for the p and q because theta 2 I have to find out. Theta 1 वही रखा हुआ है. So p I am getting as p is equal to 2q sin theta 2. Okay. Next one. The next what I have to do, I have to write the x equation. Summation of f of x equation is nothing but the rx. Rx is nothing but 520. Rx means x component of the resultant, which is horizontal, so it will be 520. So write the equation x component p cos theta 1, theta 1 यहाँ पे 30 है, plus q cos theta 2 I have to find out. So here I will get an equation where q is equal to 520 divided by something over here. Then q, now requirement, what we saying, the q has to be a minimum force to be applied. So q minimum करने के लिए मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? dq by d theta 2 is equal to 0. If dq by d theta 2 is equal to 0, our q will be minimum here. So if I differentiate the q equation over here 1.732 sin theta 2 with respect to theta 2 here, I will get the final equation theta 2 is equal to 60 degrees. So q minimum रखने के लिए dq by d theta 2 has to be is equal to 0. Then only this q will be minimum. And after differentiating, I will get the value of theta 2. Substitute the value of theta 2 in this equation. Finally, you will get the minimum force required in rope q is nothing but 260 Newton over here. Okay, let us see one more example. Now he is saying find the force F4 completely so as to give the resultant of the force system of the forces as shown in figure. Let us see what is the figure given over here. So total forces, how many forces are given? Find the fourth force F. He is asking find the force F4. F4 दिख रहा है यहाँ पे? Nowhere F4 is shown over here. This is the question given. How many forces can you see here? कितने forces है?
4.
लेकिन उसमें से एक रिजल्टेंट है. How many forces are there?
3.
Right. He is asking it is a एक force मुझे ऐड करना है.
Three.
Such that resultant will be 800 Newton as shown in figure. Resultant क्या दिया है? 800 Newton. Its inclination shown in the diagram. I have to find out the fourth force F4. F4 मुझे और एक इसमें ऐड करना है such that the resultant of the given forces will be is equal to like this. R is equal to 800 Newton. तो टोटल फोर्सेस कितने सिस्टम में? 4. उसका रिजल्टेंट क्या है? 800 न्यूटन. ओके, आई विल ऐड दैट फोर्स. तो मैंने यहाँ पे क्या कर दिया? द फोर्थ फोर्स आई हैव एडेड ओवर हियर एंड आई एम कंसीडरिंग फोर्थ फोर्स का डायरेक्टली मैंने एक्स एंड वाई कंपोनेंट दिया है. फोर्थ फोर्स मैंने ऐड कर दिया यहाँ पे जिसका एक्स कंपोनेंट है F4x एंड F4y. देन रिजॉल्व द ऑल द फोर्सेस. राइट, दिस इज द फोर्स F1, इसका एक्स कंपोनेंट, वाई कंपोनेंट. This is the force F2, x component and y component. Now you are familiar with the x and y components there. So I will not waste time in studying the x and y component. Then force F3 I have resolved. Resultant also I have resolved it to its two component. I am assuming the force F4 जिसका x component है F4x, y component है x F4y. Understood this one? Directly I am resolving the force F4. F4 का y component is F4y and x component is F4x. Now can anyone tell me how to proceed with the question? Solution कैसे निकालेंगे इसका? If the previous two questions are the numericals are clear, now you will be able to tell this. I have to find out F4x and F4y. Yes, हाँ.
Sir, resultant force का formula था ना √, sum of f of x square plus sum of f of y square. By using that one.
यहाँ पे समेशन ऑफ f(x) मिलेगा क्या मुझे? अगर मैं इक्वेशन राइट, अच्छा ठीक है, आई विल आस्क इट इन अदर वे. इफ आई राइट द इक्वेशन समेशन ऑफ f(x), क्या होगा उसमें? विल आई गेट एनी आंसर और सम अननोन विल बी देयर? डेफिनेटली वन अननोन विल बी देयर. F4x पता है क्या हमको? नहीं है. 400 cos 45 minus 300 cos 30 minus 500 cos 60 plus F4x. Summation of f of x, one unknown will be there, that is F4x. If I write the equation summation of f of y, there also one unknown will be there, that is F4y will be the unknown. So directly I will not get any answer from the summation of f of x and summation of f of y. So what I need to do? I have to use the the other information of the resultant. X component of the resultant is nothing but summation of f of x. Y component of the resultant is nothing but summation of f of y. Is it clear now? R मुझे पता है, R का x component क्या है? Resultant का x component I am having 800 cos 50. Y component क्या है? 800 sin 50. So can I say summation of fx is equal to 800 cos 50? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Similarly, I can say summation of f of y, summation of ry, y component of the resultant of 800 Newton is nothing but 800 sine 50. So that logic I am going to use here. So first thing is, let us assume F4x and F4y are the components of the fourth force, unknown force F4. It is given by summation of f of x is equal to, as we know, summation of f of x is equal to r cos 50, which is nothing but 800 cos 50, and summation of f of y is equal to r sin 50, which is nothing but 8 sin 50. तो मुझे वैल्यू मिल गया इसका, किसका वैल्यू मिल गया? समेशन ऑफ एफ एक्स का और समेशन ऑफ एफ वाई का. ये कैलकुलेट करने के बाद ये वैल्यू मुझे मिल जाएगा. Next one. Then I will write summation of f of x is equal to, simply you can calculate. Equation I will write here. 4 फोर्स का x component मुझे ऐड करना पड़ेगा. 800 cos 50 is equal to 400. 800 cos 50 is what? 800 cos 50 is the x component of the resultant. 800 cos 50 is equal to, सारे x component मैंने ऐड कर दिए. f1 का x component, then y f2 का, then f3 का, and fourth force जो है अपना f4x. So only unknown here will be f4x. So that directly you will get the value of f4x. Similarly, as I know, the y component of the resultant is nothing but summation of f of y, which is nothing but summation of f of y is equal to minus 800 sin 50 is equal to, write the equation. So equation will be what? एक एक करके सारे y component add कर दो. So summation of f of y is equal to minus 800 sin 50, minus 800 sin 50 because it is acting in downward direction, that's why it is minus here. Then write down the equation, you will get the value of f4y is equal to 612.67 Newton here. Now f4x मिल गया, f4y मिल गया, उससे मैं f4 फोर्स फाइंड आउट कर सकता हूँ. x component है f4x, y component है f4y, f4 is nothing but square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. Same logic of the resultant here. Force का x component मुझे मिल गया, y component मिल गया, तो by using the Pythagoras theorem I can find out the fourth force f4. F4 I got. Similarly, the angle of the fourth force theta I can find out at tan inverse of f4x divided by f4y. See again same thing. And tan theta is equal to summation of f of y by summation of f of x. So instead of that, I will write this equation. And this equation finally I will get theta is equal to 39.58 degrees. And the theta is lying in fourth quadrant. Why theta is lying in fourth quadrant? Here we are assuming that it is here f4y and f4x is positive. Both are positive. Here I have assumed the force is acting in first quadrant. But here you will find out your x component you are getting as positive, whereas y component of the fourth force is negative. इसका मतलब है कि fourth force कहाँ पे है? Fourth quadrant में. Is it clear to everyone? Read the last sentence. Theta lies in fourth quadrant as f4y is negative and f4x is positive. Because f4x value you are getting as positive, it is acting towards right, and f4y value you are getting negative as it is acting in the downward direction. Definitely fourth force जो है मेरा fourth quadrant में होना चाहिए. So here इसकी previously question में हमने देखा था, there resultant is given and you can identify two forces. Here a resultant is given, you can find out one unknown forces here. So not necessarily always that all the forces must be given and resultant you have to find out. The question may be asked in reverse. One unknown force is given or two unknown forces are given and you have to determine the unknown force. Okay. Now this is regarding the concurrent force system. Now we will move to non-concurrent force system. So before going to the non-concurrent force system, can you tell me difference between concurrent and non-concurrent force system? क्या होता है?
Sir, concurrent forces are those which lie between a single point,
Passing through the same
passes
point.
through a single point,
Yeah, and non-concurrent force system not passing through the same point. Clear?
not passes through single point.
Yes, yes. तो अभी क्या होगा, हमने अभी रिजल्टेंट फाइंड आउट किया कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम के लिए. रिजल्टेंट इट्स अ फोर्स and it's a vector quantity. So for the characteristic of the force, it requires magnitude, direction, and point of application. I am concentrating more on the point of application. Point of application का मतलब क्या है? ये रिजल्टेंट कौन से पॉइंट से जाएगा. कंकरेंट सिस्टम के लिए मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि जिस पॉइंट से सारे फोर्सेस जा रहे हैं उसी पॉइंट से अपना रिजल्टेंट जाएगा. इसलिए मैं अलग कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं खाली मैग्नीट्यूड आर फाइंड आउट कर रहा हूँ. आर इज इक्वल टू स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ समेशन ऑफ एफ ऑफ एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस समेशन ऑफ एफ ऑफ वाई स्क्वायर and tan theta is equal to summation of f of y by summation of f of x. I am finding out the magnitude and direction of the resultant. लेकिन if it is a non-concurrent force system, for the non-concurrent force system, I need to find out point of application. Resultant जो है अपना कौन से point से जाएगा उसके लिए मुझे I have to do something else. Why? Again the same thing. Okay, again move to the basic. Force, what are the effects of forces? What are the effect of forces?
It sets body in motion or produces turning effect.
No, motion तो बाद में आ गया. Force apply करके body क्या कर सकते हैं हम? Can we pull the body? Yes.
Yes.
We can
Yes,
push
sir.
the body. Yes. So by applying a force, basically I can pull the body or push the body. In addition to pull and push, you are opening the door. You are applying a force to opening the door. तो क्या होता है? Door rotate होता है. So three effect of the forces are push, pull and rotation. Push pull तो हम directly count कर सकते हैं magnitude से. Now rotation is measured in terms of a moment. So new concept we are going to use because non-concurrent force system है. तो non-concurrent force system में in addition to push and pull, the bodies tends to rotate, and that rotation of the body has to be considered in the analysis. That's why first we will consider the moment of the force. Already we have discussed in the second lecture. So first thing is what is moment of force. So moment of force means it is nothing but the turning effect of the force is called moment. Simple example है where to open a door we are applying the force at the handle और door को क्या हो रहा है? Door rotate हो रहा है and that turning effect of the force is called moment. So how to measure it, right? So to measure the moment, the example also I will show you. See here with a pipe wrench, you are applying the force over here. And definitely after rotating, what will happen? This pipe will rotate about the axis OO, the pipe will rotate here. So this is the rotational effect of the force. Second diagram, when you are opening a nut here, nut open करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं? Spanner we are fixing and you are applying the force F at some distance D, right? So moment, magnitude of the moment, definitely in the both the figure you will find out due to the application of the force, the body tends to rotate about a certain fixed point O, right? And that point O is called moment center. First diagram में देखो, the pipe will rotate about the axis OO. In the second figure also, nut क्या होता है? Rotate होता है. Nut rotate होगा तो क्या होगा? About its center point. So the nut is rotating about its center, and that center is called moment center. So the rotation has to be measured. Rotation, the measure of the rotation is nothing but the moment, and magnitude of movement is given by represented by the capital M, and its magnitude is the force multiplied by D. And don't forget, D is the perpendicular distance between the line of action of the force and point about which rotation takes place. Observe the diagram carefully. D देखो, D क्या दिया है? Force का direction and the point of rotation. उसके अंदर जो perpendicular distance है, that is distance D. Always the perpendicular distance D has to be considered. Okay, so already we have studied this one. So एक revision कर रहे हैं हम लोग. Before starting to the non-concurrent force system, the concept of the moment has to be clear. That's why we are considering this one. So moment कैसे find out करेंगे? Moment is equal to F into D. या लावून घ्या, जुने पण ठेवा. जुने बिल ठेवून द्या. पुन्हा तुटलं तर लागेल. एक लाव. बघा तुम्ही हे चेक द्या. Okay, sorry. So magnitude of the moment is nothing but F into D. F unit is the force unit is Newton and distance D is in meter. So its unit will be Newton meter. Again, Moment is what? Moment is nothing but the rotation, and rotation may be clockwise or anti-clockwise. So again, I have to use some sign conventions. If a clockwise moment is given, clockwise momentum moment is so here in any direction you can consider. See that depends on you. If you are considering clockwise as positive, consider anti-clockwise moment as negative. If you are considering anti-clockwise moment as positive, clockwise has to be considered as negative here. So here we will fix it now. Here in the analysis of the problems, I will use clockwise as negative and anti-clockwise as positive. So there is no hard and fast rule for this one. Okay, कोई ऐसा fast rule नहीं है कि clockwise को negative consider करो, anti-clockwise को positive consider करो. That depends on you. लेकिन जितने भी न्यूमेरिकल में आप मोमेंट अगर क्लॉकवाइज पॉजिटिव कर रहे हैं तो क्लॉकवाइज मोमेंट सारे पॉजिटिव कंसिडर करने पड़ेंगे. So in short, the conclusion of this side is by applying a force, you can rotate the body. That turning effect or the rotational effect of the force is nothing but the moment. And moment is measured, the magnitude of moment is nothing but it's a product of the force and the perpendicular distance. See, perpendicular distance, stress on that one. Force and perpendicular distance between the line of action of the force and the point of rotation. That is called moment. Then second concept also, moment of the forces, one numericals we have discussed last time. So here in this one, so in short, once again we will see. Here you have to find out the moment of 25 Newton force about point hinge, about the hinge. So definitely you will say 25 into 1.2, and the moment will be in clockwise direction. So this 25 Newton force moment will be 25 Newton into 1.2 meter, which is nothing but 30 Newton meter, and it is in clockwise direction. Now, moment of 40 Newton force. See, to understand the concept of the perpendicular distance, यहाँ पे directly perpendicular है. About this hinge, this is the perpendicular distance. But 40 Newton force, it's an inclined force. Here, the moment, while calculating the moment, you have to consider the perpendicular distance. See, here, this is 90 degrees. So here, 40 Newton force moment will be 40 into 0.7, and it will clockwise or anti-clockwise. क्या होगा इसका? 40 Newton force moment will be clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise.
Clockwise. So anti-clockwise means it is anti-clockwise. So purposely I am not writing sign convention here. Clockwise and anti-clockwise. So you decide clockwise positive करोगे या negative करोगे, that depends upon you. Next concept we have discussed about the couple of forces. Can anyone remember what is meant by the couple? Second
Sir,
lecture.
two equal and opposite forces which produces turning effect in a body or rotate a body.
Yes. दो forces है. अभी कितने हैं? दो forces है. But they are parallel forces. So from this diagram it is clear. Two unlike parallel forces of same magnitude acting in the system, acting on a body, tends to rotate the body, and this is called a couple. So example I have given every day. You're opening a tap. Tap open करते हम क्या करते हैं? अलग डायरेक्शन में दो फोर्स लगाते हैं. So to open a tap, you are applying the two forces of the same magnitude at some certain distance d. Then due to these forces, its effect will be the rotation of the body. Again, rotation is what? Rotation is either it may be clockwise or it may be anti-clockwise. So again, sign conventions I have to use over here. So here I will define two equal unlike parallel forces separated by a definite distance forms a couple. So whenever such situation is there in the given numerical, at that time you can reduce this into a couple system. So couple may be clockwise or anti-clockwise. और कैसे reduce करेंगे? Couple causes the rotation of the body. Moment of a couple is equal to product of one of the force and the distance between the forces here. So definitely we can say F into D. Because दोनों का magnitude same है, F and F. तो इसका effect जो रहेगा, moment of the couple, moment क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Moment is the measure of rotation. Couple causes the rotation. So moment of the couple is nothing but product of one of the force and perpendicular distance. So moment will be here F into D. And again, it may be clockwise or it may be anti-clockwise. आप जो भी sign convention use कर रहे हो, clockwise अगर positive कर रहे हैं, so it will be positive, and anti-clockwise will be negative here. Then characteristics of the couple. Characteristics of the couple, a lot of characteristics we can explain here. So first मैं explain कर सकता हूँ. First characteristics of the couple is, couple से क्या होता है? Due to the couple acting on a body, what happens to the body?
Rotation of a body.
Rotation of the body. तो एक number of एक possibility हो, that is one of the characteristic of the couple. So couple causes rotation of the body. Okay. Next one. Algebraic sum of moment. Yes. D40, yes. आवाज बंद करो, अपना माइक बंद करो. The algebraic sum of magnitude of the members forces, that is nothing but resultant force forming a couple is always zero. Okay, in short मैं उसको अदर ये करता हूँ. कपल में कितने फोर्सेस एक्ट हो रहे हैं? दो फोर्सेस एक्ट हो रहे हैं, राइट. दोनों का मैग्नीट्यूड कैसा है? सेम है, लेकिन डायरेक्शन डिफरेंट है. तो उसका रिजल्टेंट क्या आना चाहिए? इट हैज टू बी जीरो. तो ये फर्स्ट सेंटेंस जो है, तो इफ आई शॉर्ट इफ आई हैव टू एक्सप्लेन दिस, आई विल से द रिजल्टेंट फोर्स of the couple is equal to zero. F एक ऊपर जा रहा है, एक F नीचे जा रहा है, so F minus F is equal to zero. So the resultant force of a couple is zero. This is the second character. The couple can be balanced by a couple only which has the same moment and opposite sign. Suppose a couple दिया हुआ है, clockwise couple दिया हुआ है, and its magnitude is 30 Newton meter. तो उसको उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? द सेम मैग्नीट्यूड कपल मुझे, बट इन अपोजिट डायरेक्शन आई हैव टू अप्लाई. सो द कपल कैन बी बैलेंस्ड बाय अनदर कपल ओनली व्हिच हैज द सेम मोमेंट एंड अपोजिट सेंस. अपोजिट सेंस मींस अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. अगर क्लॉकवाइज को बैलेंस करना है तो एंटी क्लॉकवाइज बैलेंस करना पड़ेगा. अनदर कपल हैज टू बी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज. Moment of a couple is fixed and it does not depend on moment center. So what is the meaning of this one? Moment of the couple. Effect of the couple क्या होता है? Effect of the couple is nothing but the rotation. It causes the rotation of the body. Okay. So it may be considered to be acting anywhere. Only it is contributing some rotation of the body. तो वहाँ उसको कहीं पे भी consider कर दो. Suppose a 30 Newton meter couple is given which is acting on a body at any point, at a certain point. So that you can shift anywhere. Only it is causing a rotation, clockwise rotation. Okay. So it is, in other words, it is also called, it is a free vector. It can be considered acting at any point on the body. These are some characteristics of the couple here. Then next, a very important theorem is there, Varignon's theorem. जो आपका जो मैंने जो बोला था क्वेश्चन नंबर 2A जो है कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम का क्वेश्चन आपको 4 या 5 मार्क का आएगा क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट में. Then non-concurrent में क्या आएगा? Non-concurrent force system as well as parallel force system. These problems will be of nearly 8 to 10 marks and that will be your question number 2A. Question number 2A जो होगा that will be on non-concurrent force system and parallel force system. वहाँ पे now the difference. Again move to the concurrent force system. You are finding out the resultant first. First resolve, then summation of fx, then summation of fy. R is equal to summation of f of x square plus summation square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square, and angle of the resultant you are finding out by tan theta is equal to summation of f of y divided by summation of f of x. And for the point of application you are not doing anything because I know that all the forces एक ही point से जा रहे हैं, तो definitely अपना resultant भी उसी point से जाएगा. But if it is a parallel force system or it means if it is a non-concurrent force system, non-concurrent force system means what? The forces are not passing to the same point, right? So in such case I need to find out the point of application. Okay, so in short, in other way I will say concurrent force system में either bodies are pulled or pushed, but in non-concurrent force system in addition to push or pull the bodies are subjected to rotation and that rotational effect has to be taken into consideration. इसलिए मैं अभी movement में जा रहा हूँ. Movement I have considered, couple I have considered, and for the point of application of the resultant for the non-concurrent force system I have to use this Varignon's theorem. Varignon is the scientist who have invented this theorem here. So what is Varignon's theorem? Again, one thing I have to make clear. Varignon theorem किसके लिए use करते हैं? Non-concurrent force system and parallel force system के लिए. To find out the point of application of the resultant, I am going to find out. I'm going to apply Varignon's theorem. So what is the Varignon's theorem? So sometimes in the short notes also they are asking state and prove the Varignon's theorem. Okay. So thoroughly we will study the Varignon's theorem. So Varignon theorem says the sum of, so break करके बोलो, the sum किसका sum है? Of moment of all the forces. Clear? Sum of moment of all the forces. Suppose 4 forces are there. Each force will contribute some rotation. Each force will contribute some moment. तो चारों को ऐड कर दिया हमने. If in a four force system, if in a system 4 forces are acting, all the forces will contribute some rotation. All the forces will be having some moment. So moment of F1, moment of F2, moment of F3 and moment of F4. Add कर दो. Sum of moment of all the forces about a point is equal to the moment of their resultant about the same point. यानी if four forces are acting in the system, चारों का एडिशन अगर हम करेंगे मोमेंट का, दैट मस्ट बी इक्वल टू मोमेंट ऑफ द रिजल्टेंट. रिजल्टेंट क्या होता है अपना? हाँ, तो इन शॉर्ट the algebraic sum of moment of all the forces in a system must be equal to moment of the resultant, right? So this is the statement of Varignane theorem. Okay, let us see in short time how we will prove that. So here what we are considering, two different forces are given, F1 and F2. These are the two forces. F1 and F2 are the two forces. That purple color the one. Inclination of F1 with the horizontal is alpha 1. Inclination of F2 is alpha 2. And R you can see is the resultant. Blue color figure is the resultant of the force F1 and F2. And that you can find out by the parallelogram law. What is the parallelogram law? If two concurrent forces are represented in magnitude. शिवाजी पाठक, अरे जरा आईला सांग लेक्चर चालू आहे म्हणून. D31 D31 शिवाजी पाटील, you call me after the lecture. You are disturbing 120 students. So F1 and F2, these are the two concurrent forces making an angle alpha 1 and alpha 2. By the parallelogram law of forces, I can find out the resultant. It says if two concurrent forces acting in a system are represented in magnitude and direction of a adjacent side of the parallelogram, then the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the point, same point, represents the resultant. So chalo, forget about this. Now resultant, let us say R is the resultant and its inclination is alpha over here. Then Rx का मतलब क्या है? X component of the resultant, right? Then F1x is the X component of the result of the force F1. Fx2 is the X component of the force F2. So Fx1, Fx2 are the X component of force F1 and F2, whereas Rx is the X component of the resultant. I think it's understood. Diagram, whatever written over on the right hand side, there it is written. Whatever I have explained it is written over there. F1, F2, two forces, angle alpha 1, alpha 2. Resultant का angle है alpha. Resultant का X component Rx, F1, F2 का X component Fx1 and Fx2. Then what I am doing, let us say moment के लिए मुझे कोई तो point लेना पड़ेगा. Moment means a rotation, it has to be a certain point. So let us choose the point O. And through the point O, I am dropping the perpendicular to all the three forces. Select anywhere the point O along the y-axis and drop a perpendicular. Perpendicular distance between the resultant R and the point O is D. The perpendicular distance between the force F1 and point O is D1. Perpendicular distance between the force F2 and point O is D2. So these distances I am choosing to take the moment. I am taking the moment of forces about O. तो Varignane theorem हमारा क्या बोलता है? The Varignane theorem says the sum of moment of all the forces, यानी F1 का moment and F2 का moment about point O, right, must be equal to moment of the resultant about the same point. यानी F1 F2 का moment about the same point is equal to moment of the resultant R about the same point. Okay, let us see the proof here in short time. I will describe the proof here. The same diagram for the understanding. I have.
सर एक डाउट है.
हाँ बोला. बोलना. हाँ यस.
ये दोनों फोर्स कॉन्करेंट
तुझा 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 आवाज मला येत नाही. तुझा आवाज ब्रेक होतोय, आवाज लॅगिंग होतोय. लेक्चर नंतर मला व्हॉट्सअपवर विचारून घे. यस गायकवाड.
सर ये दोनों फोर्स F1 एंड F2 कॉन्करेंट है ना?
हाँ फिर अभी क्या एक्सप्लेन
से पास हो रहा है.
नहीं दिख रहे क्या कॉन्करेंट? कहाँ से पास हो रहे हैं? ए से पास हो रहे हैं. ठीक है. So first what I will find out the moment of the resultant. Moment of the resultant R about O क्या होगा? Moment is what? Force into perpendicular distance between the line of action of the force and the point about which the rotation takes place. So rotation किससे हो रहा है? हमने O point consider किया है. How much is the distance between O and the force R1? This is nothing but OD. So R into OD. OD I can write as OA cos alpha. So finally I am getting the equation OA into Rx. Similarly, moment of the force F1 about O. Again, it is nothing but F1 into the distance d1, and d1 can be found out by d1 is nothing but OA cos alpha 1. That will be the equation number 2. Then the third one, moment of the force F2. The third one is F2. This is not F1, this is F2. About O, if I write down, so if I write down the moment here and if I use the trigonometric equation, I am getting moment of the resultant is equal to OA into Rx. Moment of the force F1 is equal to OA into Fx1. Moment of the force F2 is nothing but OA into Fx2. This is not F1, this is F2. तो ये तीन इक्वेशन मिल गए जिसमें मुझे रिजल्टेंट का मोमेंट F1 का मोमेंट एंड F2 का मोमेंट मिल गया मुझे. नाउ इफ आई ऐड 2 and 3, 2 and 3 ऐड करेंगे यानी मोमेंट ऑफ द फोर्स F1 प्लस मोमेंट ऑफ द फोर्स F2. So F1 into D1 plus F2 into D2 is equal to OA Fx1 plus Fx2. ये कॉमन ले लिया हमने, वो दोनों में OA कॉमन है. So OA in bracket Fx1 plus Fx2, and that is the equation number 4. Next one is x component of the force.
Done speaking, unmuted.
You don't have the common sense when the lecture is going on. You can tell your parents, na, who is this Prajakta? Why are unmuting sound? So I am noting down all the names over here. Please take care of this one. You are disturbing the entire class. Two divisions you are disturbing. That much common sense you must have. Okay.
Sir. Sir.
हाँ बोल.
Sir, moment of force F1 about O ना.
What I told you in the beginning. If you have any doubt at the end, पूछा करो मुझे. जो भी डाउट है आपका बाद में पूछने का एंड में. In between, don't ask me the question. Later on, you can call me on the phone. I got your phone number also. At the end, I am giving you 5 minutes. There you can ask the question. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So 1, 2, 3. Moment of the resultant, moment of the force F1, moment of the force 2, and as I know, moment of the forces F1 and F2, if I add, I am getting the equation OA is equal to Fx1 plus Fx2. Then x component of the resultant is equal to sum of the x component of the force F1 and F2. So vector addition, simply this is nothing but the vector addition. So Fx is equal to Fx1 plus Fx2. So Fx is what? F1 into D1 plus F2 into D2 is nothing but OA into Fx. So from 1 and 6 मुझे क्या आ रहा है? Moment of the resultant is equal to OA into Fx, and 6 is what? OA into Fx1 plus Fx2. Fx1 plus Fx2 is nothing but Fx here, vector addition. So F1 into D1 plus F2 into D2 is equal to R into D. Or here simply we can say F1 into D1 plus F2 into D2 is nothing but the moment of the force F1 and F2 about the point O must be equal to R into D. R is what? The resultant. D is what? The perpendicular distance of the resultant from the point O. And conclusion is this purple color is very important in the first chapter. This is called the Varignon's theorem. This statement says algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about a point. इसको read कैसे करेंगे? Algebraic sum of M stands for moment, F stands for all the forces, A stands for about, and point O. It may be any point. The point O may, because we have assumed the position of the point O. So okay. So algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about a point must be equal to moment of the resultant about the same point. O देखो दोनों जगह में O है. So read it loudly and say. So to read this. To read this equation, Varignon's theorem, it says algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about a point O must be equal to moment of resultant about the same point O. So in non-concurrent force system, this equation gives me the point of location. देखो algebraic sum of moment of all the forces वो तो मिल जाएगा मुझे, सारे forces पता है, then the distances मुझे पता है. Only unknown here is R moment of the resultant. Resultant हमने find out कर दिया. Moment of the resultant R क्या होगा? R into D. That D distance is the perpendicular distance of the resultant from the point O. That D is nothing but the point of application. So Varignon's theorem से मुझे क्या मिलता है? That is written over here. It is used for finding the point of application of the resultant. That is the distance D you are going to find out by applying Varignon's theorem here. So this is the Varignon's theorem statement. Now you can ask. कौन था? Yes.
Sir.
हाँ शिवम.
सर मोमेंट ऑफ फोर्स ऑफ F1 अबाउट O है ना,
हाँ
उसमें सर वो जो सेकंड वाला स्टेप है ना, F1 इंटू OA इंटू कॉस अल्फा 1,
हाँ
वही सेम 2 बार लिखा है सर, तो डबल डबल लिखने की जरूरत है क्या सर?
ओए 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 इंटू F1 कॉस अल्फा 1, फोर्थ
हाँ
लाइन बोल रहे हो ना?
हाँ सर, नहीं सर, सेकेंड लाइन सर, हाँ बराबर बराबर, फोर्थ लाइन मतलब सेकेंड पॉइंट,
फोर्थ
मोमेंट ऑफ
लाइन, हाँ
फोर्स।
फोर्थ लाइन, हाँ हाँ हाँ
हाँ
हाँ, क्या
सर, वो डबल डबल लिखा है, लेकिन सेम ही लिखा है सर, तो वो कंपलसरी लिखने
क्यों
का
लिखा है?
जरूरत है क्या?
क्यों लिखा है? आप उसको 2-3 बार देखो और मुझे बोलो ऐसा अलग से क्यों लिखा है हमने उसको, बाद में लास्ट में क्या लिखा है? दिस इज अ वेरी सिली क्वेश्चन यू आर आस्किंग।
सर उनका पोजीशन सर चेंज किया है सर।
क्या किया है? पहले पोजीशन चेंज किया, पोजीशन चेंज करने के बाद लास्ट स्टेप मुझे क्या मिला है?
FX1, हाँ बराबर।
मैं क्या पागल हूँ क्या
हाँ
रे कुछ भी
सर
लिखने के लिए वही चीज? ठीक है, अब क्लियर हो गया?
नहीं सर, वही
F1
कंफ्यूज हो गया।
वो
नहीं सर, वही कंफ्यूज हो
सर
गया था।
F1 cos अल्फा 1 जो क्लब करेंगे तो F(x1) हो जाएगा, इसलिए दोनों को अलग कर दिया मैंने। ठीक है,
ठीक है सर।
ओके। सो वैरिग्नन थ्योरम हम क्यों यूज करते हैं?
हेलो सर।
हाँ बोलो। यस आई कैन हियर यू।
सर आप बोले थे
बोलो ना।
आप बोले थे ये थ्योरम नॉन करंट के लिए है ना, नॉन कंकरेंट।
यस यस, ना कंकरेंट के लिए।
हेलो।
हाँ यस आई कैन हियर यू। यस आई कैन
हेलो।
हियर यू। यस आई कैन हियर यू।
पर इधर तो सब एक पॉइंट से पास हो रहे हैं, F1 F2
नहीं, it can be for concurrent
सेम
as well
पॉइंट
as
F1 and F2।
non-concurrent. This can be for concurrent as well as non-concurrent. For the proof, I am considering it is concurrent force system.
ओके ओके।
But mostly we are applying it for the non-concurrent force system. Point of application के लिए concurrent में use नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि वहां पे point of application निकालने की जरूरत ही नहीं है। हो गया क्लियर अभी?
हाँ
तुम्हारे दिमाग में ये स्टार्टिंग
यस
ये
यस।
डाउट था क्या? So this is for the
हाँ हाँ
proof purpose. I am considering it is a concurrent force system. But it can be applied for concurrent as well as non-concurrent force system. Concurrent force system में point of application निकालने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, तो वहां पे अप्लाई हम ये करेंगे नहीं है। So most common जो है ना वो स्टेटमेंट लास्ट सेकंड लाइन दिख रहा है सबको? कैन यू सी, ऑल ऑफ यू सी द लास्ट बट वन लाइन? क्या है? दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट। वो कभी भी दिमाग में आना चाहिए, नींद से उठोगे तो भी आप बोल सकते, आपको याद आनी चाहिए। तो एक साथ में बोलेंगे हम लोग, algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about a point O must be equal to moment of resultant about point O। पर्पल कलर का जो है दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इक्वेशन। तो हमारे क्या हो गया, एक स्टेज ऐड हो गया। ओके, वन सेकंड विल रिवाइज। नाउ कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट इज आवर फर्स्ट स्टेप? कंकरेंट के लिए फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या था? टू फाइंड आउट द रिजल्टेंट फॉर द concurrent force system, what is the first step?
Resolve the components.
Resolve. Next,
Sigma of f of x.
sigma f of x. Next,
रिजल्टेंट
f of y कहाँ गया? Resolve summation of f of x, summation of f of y, then comes resultant. R equals to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. Then tan theta equals to summation of f of y divided by summation
y
of f of
upon
x. Summation of f of y by summation of f of x. उसके बाद ये स्टेप ऐड हो जाएगा, नथिंग एल्स। देखो कंकरेंटली हमको वी आर फैमिलियर विद बिकॉज़ 3-4 न्यूमेरिकल्स वी हैव स्टडीड ऑन दिस वन। अभी नॉन कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम में तो क्या होगा, ये स्टेप तो वही रहेंगी। summation of fx, summation of fy, moment, resultant and theta तो कॉमन रहेगा। For the point of application, this last step you are adding summation of f of f, moment of all the forces about a point equals to moment of the resultant about the same point। ये last step मुझे add करना पड़ेगा to find out the point of application। One more concept is there that is called equivalent system. Sometimes in the last step, summation of fx, summation of fy, resultant theta, by applying Varignon's theorem point of application मिलता है मुझे। Sometimes they are saying determine the equivalent force system। तो equivalent system के लिए क्या concept है, that we will explain and we will wind up the today's lecture। Suppose can you see the diagram? Can you understand the diagram clearly? क्या दिया है? A bar is given where at the point A a force F is acting, right? The bar AB, force F is acting at point A. अब मुझे क्या करना है, इसका इक्विवेलेंट सिस्टम फाइंड आउट करना है, बट फोर्स हैज टू बी एक्ट एट B. फोर्स मुझे कहां पे शिफ्ट करना है, B पे एक्ट करना है. So it can be shifted like this. Compare the two figures. The same force F acting at A, I have to shift to the point P. तो उसके लिए मैं क्या करूंगा, at point B, I am adding two forces, one acting towards left and one acting towards right. दिख रहा है इसका सेकंड डायग्राम? मुझे क्या करना है, I have to shift the force F to the point B so that effect will same. So to get that one, I am applying two forces of magnitude F. One acting in right direction, another acting in left direction. B point पे देखो, दो forces मैंने add कर दिए. One is towards right, one is towards left. Next one, last week. So finally, I can say this force F and this force F, one is acting towards right, one is acting towards left. So is equal to 0. So दोनों cancel कर दिए. So equivalent system मेरा क्या आ गया? Only one force will left and that is magnitude F. So I can shift the force F. See, principle of transmissibility, if you remember the principle of transmissibility. Principle of transmissibility क्या है? The force can be shifted anywhere along the same line of action, its effect will remain same. So F force, I can shift it horizontally. The force F, I can shift it directly to the point B here. This is the equivalent force system. दोनों का effect same है. This is by the principle of transmissibility. Or you can say this is the proof of principle of transmissibility also. Next one. अब देखो अब क्या करेंगे. Here the force F I have to passing at point A. The distance is D. The force I have to shift to the point hand. जहां पे पकड़ा है उसको वहां पे shift करना है. Right? तो directly तो shift नहीं कर सकते यहाँ पे. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? Same logic. The basic question is force F is acting in a downward direction. The distance is D. I have to shift the force F to the left hand end of the bar. So here what I will do, I will apply the two forces of the same magnitude. जितना F magnitude है, same magnitude के दो forces मैं यहाँ पे apply करता हूँ, लेकिन opposite direction में, एक नीचे है और एक opposite है. तो दोनों का क्या होगा? Effect 0 होगा. This F is acting in a downward direction, this acting in the upward direction. Net effect of these two forces will be 0. But now concentrate on these two forces. ये force F और ये force. ये दोनों force क्या कर रहे हैं? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, producing same effect but in opposite direction.
नहीं, forget about. I'm talking about this force. ये जो force दिख रहा है, can you see this force acting in the downward direction? And this force minus F जो दिख रहा है acting in the upward direction. ये दोनों का effect क्या होगा? जो मैं highlight कर रहा हूँ. These two forces.
Sir, it will produce the couple effect because they are
producing
acting.
couple.
Rotation.
It's producing a couple. This force minus F and this force F is producing a couple. Couple क्या होता है? Couple कैसे होता है? Magnitude of the couple कैसे है? Moment of the couple is what? Force into distance. तो दोनों को मैं reduce करके couple में final figure I will get like this. ये force as it is रहेगा and these two forces F acting in the opposite direction forms a couple of M, which is nothing but F into D, and these two are the equivalent system. So F acting at A can be shifted anywhere at a point on the body along with its moment, right? So these two are the equivalent force system. So in sometimes question last step you have to find out the equivalent force system. It will be more clear from the last diagram. देखो ये body दिया हुआ है, a force A is acting at point A towards right hand side, and you need to shift the force acting at point B. B पे मुझे shift करना है, लेकिन effect उसका change नहीं होना चाहिए. तो मैंने क्या कर दिया? Same magnitude F जो है अपना, two forces I am adding at point F, but in opposite direction. The force F I have added here in two different directions, one acting towards right, one acting towards left. So net effect क्या होगा ये दो force का? This force and this force forming a couple. ये दोनों force मिलके एक couple form करेंगे. Couple क्या होगा? F into D. Zero नहीं, ये दो force बोल रहा हूँ मैं. ये minus F and this force F acting towards right. These two forces will form a couple, and that couple is M is equal to F into D. और ये force as it is रहेगा. So I have shifted the force here. So the force can be shifted at any other point on the body along with its moment F into D. So this is called the equivalent system. Sometimes they are asking to find out the equivalent force system. There, this logic you are going to use. I think we'll conclude here. क्योंकि न्यूमेरिकल्स में थोड़ा सा दिमाग फ्रेश भी चाहिए. If you want, I will continue. I will take one numerical. Otherwise, we will stop here.
लेक्चर है सर.
लेक्चर कितने बजे?
12:30 का.
12:30 को नहीं है, 12:45 को है, मुझे पता है.
नहीं सर
सर 12:30 का मैं आपको स्क्रीनशॉट भेजता हूँ.
ग्रुप में मैसेज देखो.
12:30 का है.
चालेल
सर ब्रेन हैंग हो रहा है.
ठीक है, मैं बस करता हूँ.
Thank you,
चलो
sir.
ठीक है, थैंक यू. Anyone has any doubt, you can ask now.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you.
सर पीपीटी चाहिए था.
चैप्टर खत्म होने दो, पूरा चैप्टर होने के बाद मैं भेजता हूँ.
अटेंडेंस सर,
Attendance.
अटेंडेंस मेरी यहाँ ऑटोमेटिक नोट हो रही है.
ओके.
Okay.
कितने देर बैठ रहे हो? ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज लिसन हियर. आप कितने देर बैठ रहे हो लेक्चर में, कितने बार, कितने मिनट बैठ रहे हो, दैट इज नोटेड हियर. आफ्टर 1 week I will circulate to कितने बार बैठ रहे हो. सम स्टूडेंट्स आर सिटिंग फॉर 5 minutes and they are leaving the class. तो वहां पे मेरे यहाँ नोट हो रहा है पूरा, कितने देर, जितने बार आप लॉग इन कर रहे हो उतने बार मेरे पास यहाँ पे हो रहा है. सो डोंट डू लाइक दैट.